Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Raw Politics. Today, I want us to look at why a cross-section of Kenyans are opposed to Raila's AU bid. Raila Odinga has declared that he is interested in being the chairperson of African Union Commission. He enjoys the endorsement of not just the President of the Republic of Kenya, but the chairperson of East African Community. And several presidents have already endorsed Raila's candidature. So how comes a cross-section of Kenyans are praying and openly saying that Raila must fail? Why do you think so? If that is a subject you are interested in, please stay tuned. And also, if you are watching us for the first time, I urge you to take a moment and subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, let us move into the subject of today. Since Raila declared his intention to vie for the AUC chairmanship, there is a section of Kenyans who have made it clear that they are not supporting Raila in any way. In fact, they are supporting somebody from Djibouti whose name they cannot even pronounce. So what comes to your mind is why? Why would somebody hate their own to that level? Well, there are two categories here. There are those who are feeling like Raila betrayed them by joining Ruto. These people are in Azimio. They are feeling like by Raila joining Ruto, Raila betrayed them. They were on a course to remove Ruto from office, and Raila saved him. But also we have elements in Kenya Kwanza who were supporting the removal of Ruto, and by Raila coming and joining Ruto, that has fortified Ruto's base, and now it is difficult to remove him. So these two categories of people, both in Azimio and in Kenya Kwanza, who hate Raila for trying to save Ruto, and also hate Ruto for working with the enemy called Raila, are joined. Their interests are aligned, and they want Raila to fail so that it punishes Ruto. Because as of now, the president is moving across the world, popularizing Raila's candidature and giving Raila an opportunity to share his vision for the AUC with world leaders. By the time of recording this video, Raila is currently at UN meeting world leaders and sharing his vision for Africa with them and persuading the Africa head of states that are there to vote for him. And so people are feeling like if Raila fails, it would be like a failure on Ruto's side, because Ruto, the president, has always pursued things and he never fails politically. He doesn't have a record of pursuing something political and then he loses. And so it will be like we are bringing Ruto down and we are not going to make him win in this time round. People who are opposed to Raila's candidature have two goals. One, punish Ruto and Raila. Like I said, there are people within government who are feeling like bringing in Raila is a betrayal of some kind. And there are people in Azimio who are persuaded that by Raila working with Ruto is a betrayal of some kind. So if Raila was to fail, it would have been a punishment on both Raila and Ruto. But that's not all. They are also looking at it from a political perspective, that if Raila fails to win the AUC chair, he will return to local politics. If he returns to local politics, there are people whose political future was going to die without Raila on the ballot or in local politics, especially some leaders from Luo Nyanza. These ones are not very happy with Raila's candidature for the AUC. They want to hang on his coat as usual for purposes of winning election. And so there are also people in Mount Kenya now who are feeling like if they succeed if they succeed to convince Raila Odinga to abandon Ruto, assuming Raila now returns back to local politics, and they succeed to tell him President Ruto didn't mean to actually support you there. If he wanted to, you'd have won. The reason as to why you failed is because he was just using you. So if they succeed to convince Raila to abandon Ruto, then the chances of President Ruto and assuming that Mount Kenya goes with Rigathi, the chances of President Ruto winning a second term becomes narrow. So they're having two goals here, so that you don't miss the point. The first goal is to punish Raila. The second goal is to ensure that Ruto does not get his second term by convincing Raila and his people to leave Ruto now. Because currently Raila and his people are supporting Ruto. But if he convinces them, if they are convinced to abandon Ruto, and then maybe Raila is told that now this time Mount Kenya is behind you, we are going to support you for the presidency and the vice, the chances of Raila of William Ruto becoming president now reduces. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, that is the goal here. If they manage to get Mount Kenya away from Ruto and also manage to get Luo Nyanza away from Ruto, then chances of President Ruto getting a second term becomes even more difficult. And so that is the main goal here. I want you not to miss this point. The main reason as to why, especially supporters of the Kalonzo and supporters of the deputy president want Raila to fail. The reason as to why Raila, the Uhuru's axis, want Raila to fail, okay, is so that they go to him and sell to him a new proposal that we can now make you president. All you have to do is to abandon Ruto. Now Mount Kenya is solidly behind you. If you add this with this, you will win. And so that is the case here. For those who don't know, the elections of this country is always determined by three communities. And I want you to get this very clearly. The election of this country is always determined by three communities. That is the Luos, the Kikuyus, and the Kalenjin. Whenever the two of them come together, they produce a president. And that is proven. In 2002, Luos and Kikuyu came together and Kibaki became president. In 2007, Kalenjin and Luos were together and Kibaki had to rig himself in because they defeated him in everything, including parliamentary majority and everything. In 2013, Uhuru realized this, and he realized that these three communities matter. So he combined Kikuyus and Kalenjin, and he won his first term. He maintained that relationship, and he won the second term. And that is why he was fighting so hard for Ruto, for Kalenjins and Kikuyu to go apart in the 2002 election. That is the main reason why he was telling Kikuyus to see, he was trying to make Kikuyus see that Kalenjins are the enemies, etc. The reason for this was that if he could manage to pick Kikuyus and join them with Luos, then Raila would have won without problems. But Ruto was ahead of him and ensured that Kikuyus and Kalenjin remained intact. And Kalenjins remained intact, and hence he won the election. So now, they are looking at it this way. If they can manage to convince Raila to abandon Ruto, so that the Kikuyus, if Rigiji can manage to get Kikuyus away from Ruto, and they also manage to get Raila away from Ruto, then now they combine the Kikuyu and Luos, then Ruto is probably going to be a one-term president. And so that is the goal here. These people are not opposing Raila for anything. They want him to fail so that they give him an offer to ditch Ruto and join them as a way of punishing Ruto and making sure that he becomes a one-term president. If you found this particular video informative, please drop a like and don't forget to leave your comments so that I can know your opinion on this particular issue.